Hey guys, good morning. Coach Jen T here. So I really hope you like my hair. It kind of feels like the week and it relates very much to my hair. Kind of crazy. So this video today is really made for my holiday challengers and my clients that are working in my monthly coaching program. Just really, I want to touch base on some highlights of like the weekly check-ins and what people have to say. And it's just going to be a super random assortment of like tips, advice, things to share about the holiday season. And what I want to first reiterate is the fact that this is not the time of year to, lose 10 pounds typically. We have an abundance of yummy treats, holiday festivities, and parties. And so it's not realistic to tell yourself that you're gonna, be in the best shape of your life in the holidays. If you can do that, and if that's what's happening, you guys, wonderful. That's amazing. I have some clients that are like, thank you so much for getting me to feel my best, feeling confident, and physically just moving much better this holiday season into the new year. That's a huge sign of success. But those people, you guys, have been with me for months and months. So if you're in the 30-day challenge, that's not the goal here. You can't expect things to happen overnight. It takes patience. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. It takes patience and realistic goals and baby steps and taking each day to simply learn about yourself and what works best for you. Not one thing is going to work for everyone. You might like avocado. You might not like avocado. You might like eggnog. You might not like eggnog. Everybody's different and not one thing works for everyone. So keep that in mind as we go about the months. And think about it where, Christmas is in 9 days. How exciting. Santa Claus is coming. And then we're just like almost into the new year. And you guys, what we're trying to do here is maintain, feel our best, feel a little bit more confident, and really just focus on the things, the foods to add into our diet to help us feel our best. That's hitting our protein targets at each meal. If you're hitting your protein target at 3 square meals a day and you're adding a handful or two of veggies at each meal, you're already 80% making more progress than someone that's not doing that. You're adding more whole foods, you're giving your body the energy and the nourishment and the nutrition you need. And that's really going to help be more mindful or eliminate the snacking in between meals. So focus on that, you guys. A little bit of movement goes a long way. I had a client say, my goal coming to this challenge was 30 minutes of exercise a day, and I'm realizing that's not realistic. Hey, there you go. You're learning that it's not realistic, and maybe even 20-minute sessions of working out is not realistic for you right now. We have checklists of holiday shopping to do, holiday tasks to do. I promise you guys, I am the first person to relate to you when it comes to holiday hosting parties. I have parties coming up, and it's very busy. And it's understandable if you can't exercise 30 minutes a day. One thing that helps me stay consistent with exercise is planning for it, being ready for it the night before. I am an early morning riser, which is another whole thing that takes time to establish. But having a plan of like, when am I gonna work out? Is it gonna be first thing in the morning? Well, what am I gonna wear? Do I have sneakers ready? Do I have my water bottle ready? So making things realistic there and being prepared is number one. Number two is being realistic with your time, scheduling that time in, and maybe it's not 20 minutes. Any exercise, especially during the holiday season, counts. I have someone that, totaled 100 squats in the day. That's a lot of squats. But you know what? She broke it up. She broke it up in segments. If you make it realistic for yourself and you say, I'm going to do 10 squats every 2 hours, think about how many squats you're adding up in the day. And that is super achievable. 10 squats, you can do that in the bathroom on a bathroom break. Or, doing some wall push-ups or push-ups off the floor here and there. Also, if you have a kettlebell or a dumbbell, you guys can swing it around, press it overhead, super quick. Burpees are always a fan favorite. Not really, but they are very effective. If you have a jump rope, you don't need any equipment for that. And let me tell you, the best movement you can do for your mind and your body right now is something as simple as walking. Have something comfortable on your feet. Be safe about it, even if that means going for 5 minutes to the end of your driveway and back, or down the road a little bit. If it's, be safe about it, of course, wear the reflective gear if it's dark out, this and that, but just make sure you understand that it is okay to break up your movement in the day, and all of it counts. It doesn't have to be like if you're being challenged to do 20 minutes a day, it can be 2 10-minute workouts a day, or little tiny bits here and there. It's the holiday season again. Time is limited. Focus is completely somewhere else, and it may not be on ourselves. So just remember that, you guys, as we continue over the next couple weeks. We are almost to the end of the month, almost to the end of the challenge, and just ask yourself, moving into the new year, what habits are you establishing right now, whether it's movement. You're drinking more water now. You are getting more protein. Even if you're not hitting your target, you're getting more protein than you were. You find yourself being more mindful with adding in those vegetables. And you're slowing down and being more present with your meals, with your family during mealtime. You're more in tune with your body. You're listening to your hunger and your satisfaction and your fullness. And the goal is to continue to practice these things until you do master them, and it takes a lot of time. You have to focus on one thing at a time, and eating slowly and mindfully between meals, and listening to your hunger and stopping and pushing the plate away when you're 80% full is a huge thing to practice, only because it's not easy. It's very hard to do. But I've had people say, I notice that I'm enjoying my meals more when I am slowing down and eating mindfully. It also allows you to really enjoy those Christmas cookies and sweet treats much more, versus if you're shoveling cookies into your mouth and you're barely giving yourself time to chew and swallow before you're shoving more in. You're not giving yourself that time to truly enjoy your treats and taste them, the textures, the flavors. So give yourself that time and space to eat your meals and enjoy them. Listen to your body, listen to your tummy. If you start to feel satisfied, it's okay. Tell yourself, I'm going to enjoy some more cookies or some more of that meal a little bit later. Not a big deal. Box up the leftovers. So I just want to keep you guys on track with the fact that during this time, we are not focused on losing weight, looking at the scale. I have some of the people in the challenge that are I'm not even stepping on the scale. Great. That's totally cool by me, you guys, because guess what? There are so many other measures of progress. People are saying that their clothes are fitting better. They're feeling energized. They're noticing that when they're going to parties and stuff, they feel more in control. So making sure that you're getting enough protein, enough nutrition just allows you to feel more in control about your choices. And the other important thing, you guys, is to make sure that you are focusing on what you can control. We can't control the weather. We can't control, getting sick, or if somebody gets sick. We can't control, how someone toxic or someone in our work environment or home environment might be stressing us out. We can't control that, but we can control how we handle situations. So environment is key. Place yourself around the more positive people, whether that's calling them, inviting them over for a cup of coffee, just spending more time with the people in your environment that, make you feel supported and positive. Not only that, but you guys, home environment is also everything. So take a look around when you're home and just stop and ask yourself, what are my goals in life as far as personal self-care goes, And how does this environment that I am living in support those goals? How can I alter those things in my environment to support my goals just a little bit more? So that might be your kitchen. Is your kitchen cluttered and stressful and has 6,000 baked treats that are calling your name all the time? Or is your kitchen fairly clean and decluttered and makes you feel calm, and you maybe have some treats available, but there are things that are not trigger foods for you that are super high sugar. So just keep in mind that, and then just your home environment in general with other things having a space to work or to be comfortable, and have maybe a place where you're able to go enjoy sitting and reading a book, and kind of putting away the techie gadgets later at night. Your home environment, your bedroom environment, as far as sleeping goes, how does that look to support your goals? Because getting proper sleep, especially during this time of year, is super important for body and mind recovery. So how can you alter your bedroom environment to be more comfortable for sleeping? So that being said, I just wanted to keep you guys to keep that in mind. This is all coming from my mind after doing my client check-ins this morning. If some of this stuff is relating to you, it's because it came from our groups, and it's because those are the things that our people are struggling with. So I'm just quickly looking over. I just splurged on a bunch of stuff, but another thing someone said, these are quotes from people. I'm not focused as I should be. There is no should in this month, or even in this life. There is nothing that's right or wrong. There is just what means something to you. And if you are not focused, you shouldn't be focused. There is no right or wrong as far as focus goes. It's normal this time of year to not completely and solely be focused on yourself. It's impossible. This is a time of year where we're trying to focus on getting the right gift for the right person and making the right meal, making the right treats, because we want people to enjoy them. So just remember where to put your focus on, and know that there is no right or wrong with where you put your focus. That is completely up to you this month. Other things is, it's been a stressful week. I've been turning to sugar. One big thing is just to remember and ask yourself, when you're starting to feel a little bit stressed out, take that time to pause, take a deep breath, step outside, sit on the floor and do some stretching and just breathe, and just ask yourself, say, hey, what can I do right now to calm myself? That can be deep breathing. That can be reading a book. It helps you when you have those things to turn and fall on, like a short list of things, so that you're not turning to food. And again, this goes back to environment. How accessible are the things that you see as food for comfort, and try to make those a little bit more uncomfortable to get to, invisible, create friction to get to that thing, and make it easier to ignore. Because if you have something on the kitchen counter that calls your name when you're feeling stressed or bored or lonely or tired or hungry, how easy is it for you to grab that? Very easy, versus having something like that maybe harder to reach. So knowing what to do during that time when you're stressed, but also determining ahead of time what sweet treats are totally worth it to you and what are not. For me personally, like the packaged candies, yeah, they have a lot of sugar and they're tasty, but those don't mean as much to me as like the holiday homemade baked treats that like friends might give you. So focus on that, because really when it comes to emotional eating, again, it's very common and it's normal to turn to that stuff. But if you're filling in your nutrition gaps with plenty of protein and your vegetables, it's going to just make it easier to ignore all of the other things, and be more mindful with it, where you're like, oh my gosh, like Grandma brought over her cookies. I'm going to eat a couple and they're going to be so delicious and without guilt, because you're not turning to food you're not turning to sweets to like feel like an emotion, but you're just turning to sweets because like it's something you enjoy and without guilt. So again, ignore that scale if you need to. This challenge is not about perfection. It's about simply showing up for yourself every day. Even if you're checking off one of your tasks in the challenge, you're still better off than if you weren't in the challenge at all. We've only got a couple weeks left, so stay focused on that, one day at a time. And remember that it does take time. Change doesn't happen overnight. We talked about being realistic. And then one last thing, you guys, is a question I want you to ask yourself about being realistic. And that one question would be, for the next week, what am I confident I can do for myself even on the worst of days? So if all hell breaks loose, what is the one thing you are confident in that you can do as a non-negotiable for self-care for yourself? And that's the one single thing that I want you to focus on this week. I hope you guys have a great day, and make sure if you're in the challenge, you look at the pinned post here to comment on it for entering the raffle for a gift card to Flex It Cafe. Have a good day.